come with a very important message that you must start to put in your life right now. At this very moment, it's going to help you elevate and move forward on your journey. Know that the devil runs amok on this planet. The devil is in control, and you hear him in the way that people speak to each other and the things that people speak of, the things that dominate their lives, the stories that they tell, and the triumphs that they never got. And it makes them bitter, resentful, and distrustful towards anything that will allow them to progress because they're not willing to put the time in. For them, everything feels like a waste of time because they have not found meaning in their life. And I totally understand why that is the case. Because most of us believe that we are just here on this rock, living our lives the way that we're meant to live our lives. And that's it. You go back to sleep. Your story's been told, your story is done. And you move on to the next phase of life, which when you look at what's going on in the world right now, you start to see that the next phase of life, most people don't even believe in it. So most people are going to move around on this planet doing whatever they want, thinking that they can get away with things that are destructive towards other bodies and other entities. I don't want to just classify it as being a tyrant towards human beings, but being a tyrant towards anything that comes from the source's creation. Anything that has been put on this place by the Almighty Himself. Once you go against those things, once you destroy those things, your consequences will await you in the next life. As great ancient Egyptian philosophy says, your heart will be weighed against a feather. And if your heart is heavy, you will be sent back, probably to reincarnate in another body, so that you can learn the lessons that you need to learn so that you can progress forward to the next phase of life. This is a belief, this is not fact. However, this is what I have seen and what has been revealed to me. Because I also came from a place of being born, living my life, eventually questioning everything. What is the meaning to life? To discover that I place the meaning on my life. However, as time went on, I started to see I was wrong. I could not place the meaning on my life. The plan is much greater than I am. There are things happening that I cannot see. And as time went on, life itself started to reveal that there is meaning. And it's not the meaning that I've put on it, but there is a meaning to it. It will reveal itself in different ways, from the people that you come across in your life to just basic synchronicity that you start to see. You start to see patterns, you start to see things reoccurring all the time. You start to notice numbers throughout your life that are guiding you along the path. And I started to see this for myself. I started to see reoccurring patterns, reoccurring numbers, and I started to realize that there's something actually trying to speak to me and guide me in a certain direction. And from there on, it got even deeper, to the point where I would go to certain places. In particular, I would go to one chapel close to where I reside. And as soon as I got there, birds would start going crazy, circling me. It would start one bird, two, 5, 10, 20 birds going crazy every single time that I went to that space. And I tried to test this out to see, am I crazy? Or is this happening to everybody else? So I sat by the side, I watched as someone else came to the same place, and I saw no reaction. The birds did not do anything. As soon as that person left, I went to the same place that that person went to. The birds started to go crazy. And then from that point, I knew that there's a higher power guiding me. I have many stories to tell, many stories that are in sync, that let me know that there is someone or something that has already seen what has happened before. Because I'll make decisions. I'll choose to walk down a certain path. And down that certain path is where I get the synchronicity. If I went any other path, Lord knows what I would have come across there. But I chose to go down this path today, and I witnessed the synchronicity today. As if something knew I was going to walk down that path. And the craziest, one moment. The craziest was that once I started to notice these synchronicities, I actually commented on someone's YouTube video who deals specifically with spiritual enlightenment and synchronicity, etc. And I went and I told them the things that were happening to me. And then they gave me a hint saying that it's possible that you are getting guided by dot dot dot, which was, she told me it was Poseidon, Neptune, and that is the power of the healer. So as soon as I got this, it's in the back of my head. I go out on another random day. I'm walking around, and I choose to do something that leads me along a certain path. Along that certain path, I come across this bottle of cologne with Neptune sign and Poseidon, which the female with the YouTube channel had told me a few days before about this. And a few days later, literally going down the path, I bump into this. And from that moment on, I knew that there's something that knew that I was going to be here. I don't know how this ended up there. It could have been someone that was just there spraying their last deodorant and then they just left it there. Whatever it was, they had to leave it in that certain place so that I could come along and see it because it had meaning to me. Because I was starting to notice the synchronicity and the patterns that were occurring in my life. And that's how I know that spiritual growth comes through awareness. Because these are things that are happening every single day to every single person on the planet. However, a few will actually notice what is going on. And those are the ones that will be called to a higher purpose. Because they have realized, they have awakened to realize the synchronicities and the patterns throughout life. And what synchronicity and patterns led me to is the conclusion that we are living in an interactive simulation. And what that means is that you are not powerless to anything. You move, and the universe moves with you. You speak, the universe listens and attempts to give you what you desire, as long as you are willing to slave and struggle for that desire. So discovering this was mind blowing, because from this point on, I knew that this was an interactive environment, and the universe was actually responding to me, not through other people, but through the planet itself, making all these patterns come to the forefront of my mind, revealing all to me that all the things that you are thinking, you are not crazy. Because I'm giving you hints and I'm giving you signs. And I'm giving you hints and I'm giving you signs before you even stumble across the synchronicity. And once you stumble upon it, what more can you say to yourself? Except, oh, it's a coincidence. Is it really a coincidence, mate? There are no coincidences in this life. Everything happens for a reason. Every plant is there for a reason. Every cat is there for a reason. Every human being is there for a reason. For you to now call it coincidence is because you do not know. You do not know that this is an interactive environment, an interactive simulation, where you can literally go and speak to the water, and the water can respond to you. Just maybe not in the way that you want it to, but it will respond. Because they made you think that magic is some far off thing. But every single day you're casting spells. You're casting spells on your life, and you're casting spells on the lives of other people around you through the things that you say. But they'll tell you magic, you have to wave a wand, bop, 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 bam. And magic happens. No, the magic happens every single day, brother. Every single day. And this is just a message from me to you so that maybe, if you're one of the people that's been going through this, maybe you have someone to tell you that you're not crazy. And if you haven't gone through this, I've now brought it to the forefront of your mind so that you can realize when you start awakening what is actually happening, and that you are not in control of anything. God is in control. Life is in control. And the higher powers already know what you are going to do. It's kind of like living in, I don't know if it's the fifth or the sixth dimension, but in the fifth dimension, they say that you can be viewed at different times in different places simultaneously. Basically, what that means is that I could be sitting here in this house on this desk. At the same time, you can already see what I'm going to do next when I go into the other room and start cooking in the kitchen. At the same time, you can see me in the shower, already taking a shower. At the same time, you can see me already leaving the house. All at the same time. 4 different people. All me moving at the same time. In synchronicity, simultaneously. And that is a dimension that human beings have not yet discovered. Because we live in this 3D world where you can only be in one place at one time. However, the higher powers know the higher dimensions. Therefore, they have access to things that have already occurred that you do not know have occurred. But as time goes on, as knowledge increases, they will reveal it to you, and they'll reveal it to all the people so that they know that there's more to this life than they think. And the dimensions just keep going higher and higher and higher. And as you go higher, the abilities, the traits of those dimensions become more and more complex. And where it's more complex, there's more revelation. Because it starts to reveal to you the nature of this reality and how complex and intertwined it is. And therefore, you do not have to put meaning onto it because meaning is already there. All you have to do is to discover it. Simple as that.